Hi everyone, thanks for watching another video about this CompTIA Security Plus certification. Today we're going to look at some exam questions. We will go over them together and hopefully we can learn from it. This way you have a good idea what you can expect on the exam. Thanks for watching, see you soon. Hello everyone, thanks for checking out the 13th video of this video series about the CompTIA Security Plus certification exam. Let's make test 13 together. The process of web server hardening involves removing server version banner, disabling unnecessary ports, services and accounts, keeping the system up to date via updates and patches, enabling and monitoring logs, permission audits. Well, all of the above is part of hardening a web server. A concept of effective security posture, employee multiple tools and different techniques to slow down an attack is known as slow down an attack. Layered security, so multiple layers of security, not only a firewall but also scanners, you name it. There's multiple layers of security that you need to implement to make sure that you slow down an attacker. It's layered security, AAA framework. Least privilege has to do with the accounts defense in depth. A lightly protected subnet consisting of publicly available servers placed on the outside of a company's firewall is referred to as a demilitarized zone. So you have public facing or publicly available servers, and you put them outside the company firewall and you put them basically in a no man's land demilitarized zone. So all the requests will go to the server and will not actually enter on your company's network. It's also a way to protect your network basically. Continue. A type of private network that allows partial access to trusted third parties is called an extranet. Not the internet, not the intranet, not a honeypot, extranet. Third parties, private network, yes. Continue. A type of private network for corporation or organization accessible only to employees or authorized members is referred to an intranet. That's you probably heard of an internet if you work for a company. You start up your computer and a lot of the times it opens up this web page about the company, and it's only accessible after you log in the morning through your Windows machine, and the first website that will show up is usually the intranet of the website of the company, only accessible to employees. A monitored host specifically designed to detect unauthorized access attempts and divert attackers' attention from the actual corporate network is known as a honeypot. So it looks like the attacker really attacks a company server, but it's not. And at the same time, he's get trapped and leaving some traces behind, which can then be used to harden the network or the systems, and also get to know a little bit more about the attacker. Honeypot, honeynet, sorry, host. No, this is a honeypot, not a honeynet, because we're talking about host. Yes, a host. That's usually a server, honeypot. Continue. A type of network consisting of multiple honeypots is known as a honeynet. Yes, that's true. This is a honeynet. Multiple servers and a network of servers is a honeynet. Which of the following solutions is used to hide the internal IP address by modifying IP address information in the IP packet headers while in transit across a traffic routing device? Let's see. That's called network address translation. It's used to hide the internal IP address of the server, and it changes the IP header information while in transit. The request coming from the internet most likely has a different IP because it has the WAN IP plus a port number, and your router will translate that request to the internal IP of the server that you're accessing. So while in transit, this request, the IP packet header will change. A solution that alleviates the problem of depleting IP version 4 address space by allowing multiple hosts on the same private LAN to share a single public IP address is known as DHCP. We talked about this in the previous video. Dynamic host control protocol. I think control protocol. This is an IP address, an IP4 IP address given out by most likely your router. And all the computers that are on the network can still use the same public IP address by the ISP, but all the computers inside the network have a different IP address that's assigned to you by the router, and the protocol that makes this possible is DHCP. A wireless network topology in which client devices communicate directly with each other without the use of a controlling access point is known as ad hoc network. That's correct. Continue. Which of the answers listed below refers to a data link layer 2 device? Layer 2 is always a switch. Layer 3 is a router. Device designed to forward data packets between local area network segments. You had me at layer 2. It's a switch. A device designed to filter and transfer IP packets between dissimilar types of computer networks. That's a layer 3 switch, or in other words, a router. Layer 3. Layer 2 switch, layer 3 router. And dissimilar types of computer networks. So from the internet to the internal network to the LAN. From the WAN to the LAN, from the LAN to the WAN. Router. A logical grouping of computers that allows computer hosts to act as if they were attached to the same broadcast domain regardless of their physical location is known as a VLAN, a virtual local area network. Continue. Which of the following terms refers to a solution that allows multiple operating systems to work simultaneously on the same hardware? Virtualization. Virtualization of computer systems on top of each other on a server. So you can run multiple Unix or Linux servers and multiple Windows servers on the same physical hardware. That's virtualization. Continue. Which of the answers listed below refers to a security concept of isolating a computer network from other local networks and the internet? That's called air gapping. Continue. A system that uses public network, such as the internet, as a means for creating private encrypted connections between remote locations is called a virtual private network. Not a VLAN, because that's inside your network, your local area network, but this is a virtual private network. Which is basically with encryption making a tunnel between 2 points, and it uses the internet, and with encryption you made a tunnel so you make it secure, and with that way you're creating a private network, virtual private network, VPN. Which of the following ensures the privacy of a VPN connection? That's tunneling. Not hashing, not tunneling, not authentication, tunneling. You're creating a tunnel over the internet, which is encrypted. So for other parties on the internet, it's very hard to decrypt and get the data. So tunneling. A VPN connection types are divided into remote access VPNs, used for connecting a computer to a network, or site-to-site VPNs for connecting networks themselves. That's correct. That's what you can both do with a VPN connection. Yeah. So for connecting a computer to a network, or to connect both networks to each other. A correlation engine used for processing various types of log data into an actionable information Actionable, okay. That's SIEM, standing for Security Information and Event Management. It is an information system in which data logs can be inserted to, and the software might trigger alerts to administrators, basically. Continue. Which of the answers listed below refers to a dedicated device for managing encrypted connections established over an untrusted network such as the internet? A VPN concentrator. That's the actual device to set up those VPN connections to connect a computer to network or two networks with each other over the internet. A common placement of a dedicated VPN appliance would be somewhere on the edge of a private corporate network on the one end of a communication link, with a similar placement on the remote side, where both devices can face the internet and create a secure tunnel between both sides. That's correct. Which of the following answers refers to a possible placement of an SSL accelerator? Hardware device residing between the clients and a web server. Dedicated expansion card installed on a web server. Functionality implemented in a network device or load balancer, let's say. All these places could be a possible placement for an SSL accelerator. An SSL accelerator is usually a piece of hardware that takes care of all the encrypting and decrypting of network data. Because encrypting and decrypting is quite CPU intensive, so you can imagine that it's quite a lot of load on a server, and if you have one dedicated device like an SSL accelerator to take care of this for you, the servers don't have to work that hard. You just have one dedicated device for all the encrypting and decrypting on your network. Continue. A load balancer for a busy internet website would typically be placed between the public internet and a server farm handling the requests from within a private network. Correct. A common DDoS mitigator placement options include the on-premise placement between private network and the internet, and or cloud-based filtering solutions. Distributed denial of service mitigator. Yes. Yeah, between a private network and the internet. That's also true. Last question. An aggregation switch can be placed between a router and multiple switches on a network if a router doesn't have sufficient number of physical ports to establish communication links with all the switches used on the network. Also true. Now let's go over the answers. Okay, I missed here one. I missed NAT. Dhcp, that's not... Oh, NAT, okay. Okay. Network address translation. True. Looking good. Okay, well. Only one mistake I made here. I was under the impression that it was DHCP, but it was NAT. So you see, it's a lot about protocols. Again, it's about DMZ, extranet, intranet, honeypot, network address translation, dynamic host control protocol, switches, routers, various layer 2 or layer 3 devices. Get your act together when it comes to networking. I mean, this is already the third or fourth video in this CompTIA Security Plus certification that talks about the networks. Why? Because hackers always come enter your network over the internet. So you need to know something about networking and how to secure your network and what the various protocols do. I hope this video made this a little bit more clear. This was video number 13. We still have 11 videos to come, so stick around if you want to know more about the contents of this CompTIA Security Plus certification exam. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you guys in the next video.